Hey everybody, how you doing? This is about to be a really fun video. Out at the range today with heavy metal, and I'm super excited because here in front of me I have a CVA Scout rifle in 4570. So my buddy said, hey, have you ever put a CVA Scout rifle on your channel? You ever shot one? I said, no, I never have. I have never shot one. He said, do you want to? I said, sure. So he said, here you go, borrow it. Take it for a spin, tell me what you think about it. He has taken whitetail with this, and I have no doubt that 4570 will take a deer. I've taken a big old axis deer with 4570 myself, but I'm not going to pretend to be the expert on this, but I'll tell you what I know about it. So this, before I knock down these bullets, let me move them out of the way. I'll show you one. If you're not familiar, that's a 4570. This is actually a 300 grain hollow point. That will do some damage. Definitely take a deer. But the CVA Scout here, this one has a stainless steel fluted barrel. I know you can also get a blued barrel on that if that's what floats your boat. Might as well start at the front. Come with a muzzle brake. You can also take that off if you want to do some of the shusher stuff. It comes with the rail, so that's always nice. That's the biggest pain when I'm buying rifles and I get a rifle in that doesn't have a rail, and then I gotta try to find the rail that fits and wait for it to come up in the mail. So that's cool that these Scouts already come with the rail. I think that's awesome in and of itself. It's a brake action barrel. You pull this lever down there, load your one shell in there, then you're ready to go. Little thumb knob here that can be screwed out and put on the other side. For lefties, that's important. Your cock and hammer there. I have not fired this yet, so I can't speak to how good the trigger is. Everybody that I've talked to, including my buddy, says that they have a fantastic trigger. It's supposed to have a pretty good little recoil pad on here, which is important when you're shooting something like a 35 Wheeling, how do you say that? Somebody let me know. Or like this one, a 4570. But CVA makes these in everything from a 243 all the way up to the thumpers. Like this one's a 4570. I think I've seen them make a 444 and also 450 Bushmaster and a bunch of stuff in between. I think they also make 300 Blackout, 6.5 Creedmoor, and several other calibers. But yeah, if you're interested in a single shot, not expensive rifle, this might be a good one for you. But what we're going to do for this video, let's get to the good stuff. No more of this boring talking, man. I have brought out 3 different types of ammo. I've got some Winchester 300 grains there on the bottom, and then what do I got? I already forgot. I've got some Hornady leverevolution 325s and 250s. That's what we got there. This is what we're going to be shooting. Also, before I forget, I wrote it on the box. A big thanks to Jim N. I'm not going to say your last name, for sending in this box of ammo. Really appreciate it. I said not too long ago I was running short on 4570, and Jim, you sent that in, and I appreciate it big time. But here's what we're going to do. My buddy said he's already got this sighted in at 100 yards. We're going to test you and see how good it's sighted in. But in all seriousness, I know it's sighted in. He took a deer with it. But here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go back to 100 yards. I'm going to shoot a 3-shot group with all of these and just see which ammo that this rifle likes best. If you have one, that'll save you from having to try yourself. And we're going to get a feel for the trigger and just see what we think about it. And after that, I'll fling one of these each over the Chronograph just to kind of give you guys a picture of the bullet speed. I know a lot of you guys that are hunters are real picky about the bullet speed and doing the calculation on the energy and all that stuff, so you'll have some of that data too at the end of this video if that's really what floats your boat. But I already did way too much yapping. Let's talk about the scope real quick. He's got a vortex copperhead 4 to 12 by 44. If you're wondering, he's got a vortex on here. What's it look like? Looks like a good one to me. 4570, you don't want your eyeball way up close on that booger, do you? But let's go back, shoot some groups with these 3 types of ammo. I'll get some of that chronograph data for those of you that want it, and we'll just see what we think about this overall package. Yeah, I'm excited about it. Alright, now let me show you my targets here real quick. I've got 3 different paper plates, one for each one of those different types of ammo we're going to shoot. First I'm going to do that Winchester 300 grain hollow points, then the heavier 325 FTX rounds from Hornady, and then the lighter Hornady 250 grain monoflex. So let's go back to 100 yards and see what kind of groups we can get down range here. Look at that ladybug. Hopefully that ladybug gets scared away before we get to flinging them here. Alright, so here we are, guys, back at 100 yards. Here's the plan. Get my glasses on here. It is a steamy, humid day in Tennessee today, let me tell you what. But first, I'm going to take these 300 grain Winchester hollow points here in this Scout rifle and see how these group. So 3-shot group. The first one may be a little bit wonky because of the cold barrel, but I'm not going to let any of these groups cool. I'm just going to shoot 3, shoot 3, shoot 3. And we'll just see what this Scout does at 100 yards here. Now, I don't know what ammo he sighted it in with, so most definitely probably not going to hit bullseyes, but we're shooting for groups here to see what this rifle can do. And I'm going to hold dead center on those plates. I think I forgot to tell you, those circles that I've got down there on these plates are a penny that I traced, but that's a whole lot of yapping. Let's get to the part that we came here for. Let's see how these 300 grainers are going to group at 100 yards here. Definitely am a fan of the trigger on this thing. So they said that these have good triggers, and I'm going to tell you, I'm impressed, especially for the price of these things. That is a fantastic crisp trigger. Let's shoot another one here. Group this one before we go to the next. Ooh, not too bad there. I'm gonna have to get one of these. Dadgummit, why'd you let me borrow it? Oh, that's all right. Let's see where this third one hits. Oop, gotta pull the hammer back. Just kidding. Woo, 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 boys and girls, that's a good group. And I really don't know how to explain it, but I've shot a lot of 45-70 in the past, and this ammo right here too, it kills your shoulder. I don't know how to explain it, but this is very light shooting. Maybe it has something to do with that muzzle brake and probably having to do with this recoil pad, both those two things combined. But for 45-70, surprisingly low recoil. But next we got the 325 grain Hornadies. Get 3 of these out here on the table. We don't mix them up. Let's see how she likes the heavier Hornady 325 grainers here. Go down to a clean plate. Ah, dadgummit, forgot to pull the hammer back again. Hate to do that on a deer, wouldn't you? So those 325 grainers are hitting lower than where the Winchesters were hitting, but we'll see how these group out of this CVA here. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, I really can't get over the how light the recoil is. Before I filmed this video, I literally texted my buddy and said, hey, I'm about to go bruise my shoulder. But I don't think I'm going to be bruised. All right, let's do this third and final shot with these 325 grainers. 2 of those are touching. All right, now let's go to the lightest. These are 250 grain Hornadies. Let's get 3 of these out here. And see how these are going to group. Me, when I'm deer hunting, I typically go for the heavier round. Some people like to go for the lighter. if I have a heavier round that groups good, I typically go for the heavier ones, but this is the lightest one out of the three we're shooting here today. See where this one hits. Clean plate here. Hey, and that one hit the bullseye. This rifle might be sighted in with for that stuff. Or maybe, where was the first one hitting? He might have it sighted in a tad high with those heavier ones, I don't know. But let's shoot another one. A little bit lower out of that one. Ooh, that barrel, she's hot. She's hot. If you're hunting and you're taking this many shots, either you can't shoot or your rifle's not sighted in. This is a whole lot of fun. Last shot here for this group. Ooh, and two of those are touching, but let's run down there and look at the groups real quick up close. Then I'm gonna put these over the chronograph. All right, so down range here at our targets, let's see how we did. So 100 yards with those Winchester 300 grainers. We had two touching and then one not far away. I'll put my thumb up there just to kind of have something more to compare it to. Again, this is a penny that I traced. So good group out of the 300 grainers. Then down here, these were the 325 grain Hornadies. Same story there, two of them touching. Kind of weird how these are tearing a hole. These are tearing like a big old fist through them or something almost. But there's the 325 grainers. Consistent there, again two touching. And then this was the 250 grainers. Again, we had two touching. But I'll put my thumb up there just to kind of show you the groups there. So, did good groups out of the 300 grainers, 325 grain, and 250 grainers. So, I'd say no matter what ammo you can find for your CVA Scout, you'd probably just be perfectly fine hunting with any single one of those. Just make sure that yours is sighted in dead on for whichever ammo you got. Alright, now, so here's the chronograph bit I promised you. This first shot is going to be those 300 grain Winchesters. And before I forget to tell you, this is at 10 yards. Somebody said, why don't you chronograph them at 100? Well, that's because I already hit the chronograph once before and I don't want to have to buy another chronograph. So here's the 10 yard chronograph speeds with these 300 grain Winchesters. We don't need all the zooms for 10 yards, do we? What'd we score there? 1,789 points. Let's go test another one. Y'all know that's in feet per second. I was just kidding about the point stuff. 1,789 feet per second. But here's one of those 250 grainers at 10 yards. Ought to be faster, huh? 2,060 feet per second. And then lastly, here's the 325 grain Hornady. See how fast these are going. $2,032, and I'm here to tell you, shooting them all side by side, those I think were the hottest, kicked the hardest. I mean, they're the heaviest bullet, so you'd kind of expect that, but that was almost as fast as the lighter round with the heaviest bullet, so take that for what you want. There you have it, guys. 100-yard groups, a little bit of chronograph data out of this 4570, and I'm here to tell you, I like this thing a whole lot more than I anticipated that I would. You guys know I've got one of the CVA Cascade rifles, and for the money, that thing is hands down fantastic. Even really not for the money, it beats a lot of the stuff that I have as far as when it comes to quality and trigger pull and all that jazz. But this thing is an absolute ripper. I love it. Like I said, if you're not familiar, these are very affordable, easy to pick up. if you see one around at a shop somewhere, I encourage you to pick it up, put it in your hands, and feel that trigger pull. Crisp, light trigger pull. When it comes to the trigger, I'm not even sure that I would change it at all any lighter, and it might be too light. But I absolutely love this setup. Appreciate my buddy taking it for a spin. Now I gotta clean it. But if you guys want to see anything more out of this thing, comment down below real quick while I still have it, and we can do another video or two with it. But CVA Scout rifle, like I said, they come in quite a few different calibers. Thing's just awesome. A lot of people are afraid of recoil when it comes to the big heavy hitters, 45-70, 450 Bushmaster. But like I said earlier, it has to be a lot to do with that muzzle brake there, and then this recoil pad. But man, really not that bad. I've shot quite a bit of other 45-70s, and this is by far the lightest recoiling one that I've ever tried. Not even close. But yeah, I won't ramble any more about it. Let me know if you have one. Let me know what you think about them if you've tried them before. But hey, my first time taking a CVA Scout for a spin. Absolutely love it. Good trigger. Doesn't recoil that bad. Groups well with quite a bit of different ammo. All the ammo that I had to bring out today in 45-70. But appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to check out all the links down below. Appreciate y'all big time. We'll see you on the next one. CVA 45-70. Hootie hoo!